You're gonna love this.
I want to hear it. I'm objective. You're critical.
Anico at the disco.
He's positive. Join the Mixtape 615.
Today, tomorrow, yesterday,
It is the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville.
forever. Testing. 1, 2, 3. This is a Mixtape 615 podcast, baby, and we are the voice of who? The fans. That's you, if you're listening. Check this out. We're going to talk some NSC real quick. We got a special guest with us. You're about to find out who that is. If you're listening on the podcast, if you're watching, you might already know who that is. But let me talk about myself real quick. I'm your boy, Tunji, aka Young Turtle, Lee Soccer Face, SF Doom, the DR Kid, affectionately known as Steam Papi Yamame Por Favor, aka Mr. Sipping My Ties on this beach in Belize, feeling cool, like a summer breeze. Hey, Austin, you know my old lady?
Who's your old lady?
Lady Luck. I meet her every week at Ricky's 3-Star Bar when I'm throwing back shots of Malort till I start talking like a true Chicagoan. Call me Chicago Mike. And this right here is a Mixtape 615 podcast. Austin, can you tell them who you are, please?
What's up, guys? My name is Austin, aka Wildman, aka Ginger Snap. Don't cross this ginger because he may snap. Aka the Fumbling Dublin. As of recording last night was St. Patty's Day. It was the Fumbling Dublin's favorite holiday. AKA Chicky Parm Parm. AKA Red Beard, the dopest pirate in all the 7 seas. Logan, tell me who you are.
All right, guys. This is your boy Logan, aka Beer Man, aka Manga Man, aka I'm gonna say it now. I'm gonna call it Merch Man because we got some new merch out right now.
Ooh.
I know. Look at it. It's so nice.
Crispy.
AKA Lucky Logan, and this is the Mixtape 615 supporter group podcast brought to you by the Mixtape 615 supporter group itself, the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville, in all of soccer, in all the world. And you guys want to jump in with us, go ahead and go to mixtape615.com. That is mixtape615.com and jump in with us. And I'm skipping this soccer news this week because we do have a special guest. Austin?
That is right. That is right. Guys, we are joined today by a true Nashville SC legend. You've seen him. You heard him at all the games, draped in his robes, holding up the famous let my people goal sign and firing up the crowd like a pitch side prophet. That's what we call him. But beyond the stands, he is also a talented musician. He's best known as the lead guitarist of Grammy-winning band Jars of Clay. And we will dive into how his love for music and soccer collide to create one of the most unique and I think one of the best traditions in all the MLS with Soccer Moses. You know him, you love him. His name is Steven Mason, but better known to you all as Soccer Moses. Guys, welcome.
Bless you guys.
Awesome.
Bless you.
Welcome in, Steven.
Welcome in, man. Can you tell us what you've been up to in this beginning of the Nashville SC season?
Well, I mean, let's say this up front. They can't say we only sing when we're winning, but boy, does it feel good to sing when you are?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, sir.
This has been a lovely turn of events. There's more to get into here, but I'm on cloud 9 right now, just digging it. Digging this new midfield. I'm so happy.
Oh yeah. Well, you're right, because it is a lot to get into, because we just had a match from Philly where our boys were taking on Tunji's old moniker, the Glizzy Gladiators, over there dodging hot dogs left and right. Austin, why don't you take us into that?
All right, guys. Well, we are going to jump right into a match rewind. For the first time ever, guys, Nashville SC walked out of Subaru Park with a win.
Oh yeah.
So, guys, they took down the previously unbeaten Eastern Conference leaders right now, the Philadelphia Union. They beat them 3-1 Sunday afternoon, rather. And it was a statement win, guys. I mean, seriously, like a lot of people were talking about the Portland win, that like, oh, Portland's down, like they're not a very good team right now. And so a lot of people didn't really give credit where I thought credit was due with how Nashville looked in that match. But guys, statement win for the boys in gold. Tunji, what was your main takeaway from this first ever win in Philly for the boys in gold?
Goodness gracious, do I love seeing us being the aggravators. Do I love seeing us
Especially
make
in
other
Philly.
teams, especially in Philadelphia? If you look at the numbers, right? Like you saw, we had like 18 fouls or something like that, ridiculous amount of fouls.
Yes.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with knocking these
18
guys
fouls,
around.
but only one card.
I don't know
That's the
about
way to
that.
do it.
Probably should have been a couple extra cards, but like, you know what I mean? Like when we talk about what BJ is trying to do with this team, the new mentality, the new culture, I'm enjoying seeing this. Even though it is gets a little feisty. The fact that we were able to make I forgot this guy's name, doesn't really matter, but he threw the ball at
Shaft's face.
Yeah,
Oh,
Shaft's.
gosh.
Don't mess with the face, bro. Don't mess with Shaft's face. That's our moneymaker right there.
Moneymaker.
But at the same time, like that's how you know, like we're doing something right, because when you're playing, we have had a hard time playing down the competition as well as playing up to competition, right?
Mhm.
So when we go against a team who's supposed to be better than us, and maybe they're not, I don't know anymore. Maybe they're not.
Yeah.
But when you go against a team and you show them like, hey, you guys might have more scores, you guys might be better technically, you guys might be more disciplined. We're gonna test that. So we're gonna get in your head. We're gonna make you guys get out of position every once in a while. The Dan Lovitz ball to Kassem.
Yeah. Yep.
Two
Two assists in 2 matches. Hey, Dan Lovitz is cooking.
Something going on
Two
there.
goals in 2 matches for Kasim.
Yeah.
Something's going on
Well,
there,
Logan,
man.
I mean, we saw last match we went from 12 shots on net to 12 shots total, only 4 on net. But hey, 3 of them went in. What are your thoughts on the boys getting their accuracy uploaded or upgraded?
I mean, the accuracy upgrade is great, especially when you have, the Super Sam coming in and actually
Putting guys on skates.
Man,
Breaking
ankles. Exactly. Breaking ankles left and right, and just put the ball on the back of the net so beautifully. I was waiting for that to come. You guys know I said it early on that he could very easily be the Golden Boot winner for this year. Now, of course, Ahmed Kassem is making a giant case for that right now, too, with 2 goals in net. And then, of course, Joe Willis. It's hard not to call it like, I mean, I've got 4 people, man, that are just there. Joe Willis, not only with the penalty kick, stop that was just amazing, but the rebound stop as well. That quick after. I was sitting there with the guys at the watch party at Lucky's 3-star. Y'all need to make it out if you've not been to one of the watch parties there. It's awesome. And we were sitting there. I was like, he's going to go bottom right. He's going to go bottom right. I hope Joe sees this. He's going to go bottom right. So Joe's bottom left. And he went there and Joe was like, I'm on it. I was like, yes, here we go. It was great. And then, of course, in the 82nd minute, guys, bringing it all the way home, just to really push, put the nail in the coffin for us. Hani Mukhtar with the Panenka coming in and just chipping, just the beautiful, like, yep, we're here. I'm here. You're not going to stop us. And that's exactly what we needed. A just giant statement win out of these boys in gold.
It was definitely chef's kiss. But we can't only talk about, I know we're excited because we got 3 in the net, but we can't ignore the defense that, we talked about Joe Willis, but also Walker Zimmerman actually stepping up. I know that we've talked about it on the pod. But Steven, I'd love to hear your takes on this, but we've talked about how this might be a make or break season for Walker Zimmerman because he's kind of almost lost a step with a lot of the injuries that he had last year, but he has come out on fire this year. He had 5 clearances. He got his first assist of the season. So what are your thoughts on Walker Zimmerman in this match?
I think Walker, I think we saw last season a bit of a drop off between, the U.S. national team schedule, the injuries, and working his way back in. And I think just, when he had the captain's armband, I wanted more advocacy for his mates. Like I wanted to see him step up for his buddies. And, right now, I see him with the MacArthur General hat on in the back. Like he's pointing, he's yelling, he's telling people where to go, and he's being aggressive. There were a couple times, I think it was in the Portland match, he was all the way up. He was like, I'm gonna go do this. And when he would, we'd lose possession, he'd get back, which leads me to little buddy Eddie.
Oh
Eddie,
man,
Eddie. We need a song for that man. Especially in the final third, when we lose the ball, there's this natural sense of, okay, let's get back because this is what we do. That guy keeps chasing the ball.
Yeah.
And I mean, there were some stick pokes that kept the possession for us that we didn't have. He's like this Viking Chihuahua. Like he's just he's biting ankles. He's getting his foot in and getting those turnovers. And we're holding possession. When we take a risk and we take a shot, it's not the end of the possession. And I love that about this team this year.
Absolutely. I think that might be the best
Viking
explanation.
Chihuahua.
Or
I'm having
nickname.
trouble getting past that. The Viking Chihuahua.
Viking Chihuahua.
I'm on,
All right,
I'm
hold
on
on.
that journey right now. I'm about to
That's the
generate
next
this
shirt.
image. With
That's
AI,
the
bro.
next
All right,
t-shirt.
the Viking Chihuahua.
Little buddy.
Yeah.
Little buddy.
Eddie Taxif, the Viking Chihuahua. All right, coining that right now. T-shirt comes soon. It's going to be a
Let's do
collab
it.
for
Let's do
Mixtape
it.
and Soccer Moses.
Hey, we walked away with another win, 2 in a row. We now sit 2-1-1 for Nashville SC. We are excited. We are getting going. We're actually getting movement. You talked about the press that is happening. We're seeing that. We're seeing balls go in the net. We're seeing team play. We're seeing chemistry. And we talked about that a little bit because, the first couple matches, we had a couple of our guys out. Schaffelberg just made his debut this season coming in. Kasim got signed, I think, like the day before our first match. We had
Visa
Wyatt
barely
Mayer
came in.
and Matthew Corcoran both get signed pretty late before the season started. And so there just wasn't a whole lot of chemistry that we had seen yet. And so now we're actually seeing things click. And I know BJ's talked about it. We've talked about it. Guys, the goal to 50 goals.
We're 10th of the way there.
Are we seeing it? So just a quick yes or no, Tsunji, are we seeing the path to 50 open up for us?
Easily. Yes.
Okay. Steven, are you seeing a path? Are the Red Seas parting?
Easily, because you look at, the Portland match, you look at, there was a clear plan and you saw him going straight and over the top, getting those balls to Sam. And another piece of this year that's just already freaking me out is Nahar is a beast with that quick, small passing in the midfield. We are breaking teams in a way that we were never able to last year. And they're operating in this tiny little hula hoop and they're getting guys breaking free and running down the wings. We didn't see that last year. It was a harder, the midfield was just muddy, and man, there's an efficiency, and it feels like the guy that doesn't have the ball knows right where he's headed, and that so much encouragement. So that's got to bring goals, right? That's got to bring goals.
Absolutely. And we haven't even seen a guy who I think can bring us a little bit even more of a push in Tyler Boyd. He's been injured. We haven't even seen him coming in. And I think that he's shown flashes of that last season. We talked about how last season just everything was kind of down. But Logan, I mean, what are your thoughts on once he gets back into the rotation and the lineup?
I mean, again, we're a 10th of the way there. I think that if we need to rest Sam, or if we need to rest Kasim or Hani, with the way that we've gotten this set up right now, I don't think this is a well-oiled machine at so early in the season. It looks to be, at least, a well-oiled machine so early in the season.
Easy with that, man.
Yeah,
hey,
I know.
It looks to be. It's very early still, but it's very promising to get to 50, considering we're a 10th of the way there within 2 games. Now, of course, we played 4, but
it's early. We've talked about Gary Ball a lot on this podcast. I'm just going to put this out there. We might be seeing glimpses of BJ Ball, and so if this is what we've got coming, then I've got something to look forward to. I think we all have something to look forward to. Next up, Nashville coming back home. It is Mukhtar bobblehead night. We're all ready for the Hani bobblehead. We're facing off against Montreal, but guys, we've got some fun things coming up on the podcast. Yeah, matching that Walker Zimmerman pod.
Hey, there you go.
Walker needs his bud. Needs his best bud, man.
But yeah, we've got some fun things coming up on the pod. Stick around. We're going to kick off an interview with the one and only Soccer Moses. Are you tired of neck or back pain? Maybe it's shoulder pain or headaches get in the way of your busy life. Well, Christ Chiropractic is right here in Franklin, Tennessee, and they've been helping families and professionals live their best life for over 25 years. They specialize in spinal decompression therapy and chiropractic adjustments that are there to tackle the pain and get down to the root cause without drugs, without surgery. So whether it's stress from work or chasing your kids around, they have got you covered. Visit ChristChiropractic.com. That's CRIST chiropractic.com to schedule your appointment and take the first step toward living a pain-free life.
All right, Stephen, man, we've got just a few questions, just a little bit more about you in general. So so you started as a, kind of as a musician. So how did your journey into music kind of really begin?
I grew up loving it. We were one of those families that everybody, whether they liked it or not, was going to take piano lessons. And and one day I found my mom had this old ukulele in a closet somewhere, and I was like, this whole guitar thing, these strings, this makes sense to me. And that's where I got hooked. That's awesome. I know growing up, my mom had like an old guitar in the attic that we used to go up and get, and that's how Austin and myself both started in guitar. Yeah.
So awesome. I totally get that.
Origin. That's
hey, that's a good one though, man.
Right?
Ukulele is not a normal thing. Yeah. You then went on to join and are now or have been the lead guitarist for a Grammy award-winning band, Jars of Clay. And so Jars of Clay has been a staple in the Christian rock kind of area for decades. I know we talked earlier today, even just that I used to jam out to you when I was younger in my room, just like jamming out to Jars of Clay. But I mean, what has been the most kind of rewarding part of that experience for you?
Man, I mean, obviously getting to make records was, creatively fulfilling. Touring, also connecting with people all over the world. And I think on a much more profound level, personally, we've formed a nonprofit in 2003 called Bloodwater, and basically just kind of wrestle with HIV/AIDS and the clean water issues in sub-Saharan Africa. And that really changed me, because I think it instilled this idea that whatever it is you love to do, you can employ that to the end that you make a difference in people's lives. And honestly, that moved straight into supporters groups, that moved straight into soccer culture, because this is another great illustration of what community is. Y'all at Mixtape and all and all the other supporters groups, like it's about bringing people together. And soccer is the means, but it's not the end result. Like these relationships, it's all really beautiful. But definitely felt like the work with Bloodwater kind of really set the tone for who I am today, and how much I love this community here.
Yeah. Well, you talked about, the soccer community and how like your music is starting to, kind of transition with your work with Bloodwater and now entering into the relationships with supporters groups. But you donned a character, as Soccer Moses, and take us back, like the first time that you decided to dress up as Soccer Moses. What sparked that idea?
You know, so I had made a T-shirt that said, had Moses on it, "Let my people go," and Stephen Robinson. I was cutting Stephen Robinson's hair.
Great guy.
He was in the chair from Pharma Soccer. We were just talking, and I was like, dude, what if I came as the shirt? Like what? And he was like, dude, that'd be hilarious. And so between the two of us, we conspired, and I paused. I had the clippers in my hand. I paused. I went on one of those get it the next day websites and ordered a Moses costume. The next guy in line for a haircut was the guy at Signs First, Tim, which is just down the street from the stadium. He's like, I'll make you a banner tomorrow, no problem. And dude, I mean, and
It was meant to be.
there was one Moses costume that was going to get there the day before, and it showed up at 10:30 that night. So a lot of things had to go exactly right.
Wow.
That is awesome. That's awesome. So
So
when
we
you
were,
when
we
you just
were hold on. So we were one like bad Amazon delivery away from not having Soccer Moses as part of Nashville soccer culture.
Thank your drivers.
Well, at least not
5
that
stars.
1 week. Yeah. There you go.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah. That's crazy to think about. Did you expect, like when you decided to don the costume, did you expect Soccer Moses to become such a recognizable part of like Nashville culture?
No idea. I mean, do you remember when we were at the baseball stadium? There was one night that coincided with Oktoberfest.
Mhm.
I had an outfit that looked like I was on the shoulders of a Bavarian ginger man, and
with like the
so
later hosen on the top part. Yeah.
I've always loved doing this stuff because, again, the litmus test for Soccer Moses is, does it bring joy and can it make a difference somehow? And so you can see the early working of that with my Bavarian steward. I just thought, man, we'll just see what happens. And I had him okay that I could bring a banner in, and man, I think back to that moment. I mean, there was a lot going on. That was the night before the tornado. Just a couple weeks before the COVID shutdown. It was wild, but there I was, right there above the pole on the left side, and Walker foots that ball in. Everybody goes nuts, and I'm just there behind him going, "Oh my God!"
There you go.
That's amazing.
So,
I mean, well, you just kind of mentioned one, but I was going to ask, are there any like memorable moments as Soccer Moses that stand out to you?
That was definitely one. I'll tell you, the next week I went to Portland to thank them. I have a dear friend that lives out there. He's the one that got me to my first MLS match ever. I watched Chris Wondolowski put up a hat trick on the Timbers at home. But I'll tell you, shout out to the Timbers Army. They are amazing community. They get it done. And they were so kind to us to give, a bursary from what they'd collected for the tornado relief.
And their big they put up, a Rose City Loves Music City. It was perfect.
That was a special moment because I was walking up and down. They get in line like a couple hours beforehand to get in to the GA. Yeah. And I had the, God bless you, Rose City, just sharing the love. And they clapped, and I offered just a couple things real quick, real short, and they clapped, and then they started jingling their keys, singing, go home, Moses, go home. And, it was,
oh man.
I mean, they were
friendly ribbon.
Let this Moses go
home. Yeah. But that was definitely one of them.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's fun, man. Well, Moses, I mean, is all about leading people to the promised land. And so as Soccer Moses, we've talked about what this season may look like with the new, BJ Callaghan coming in. We're seeing our road to 50. What do you think the Nashville SC promised land looks like?
Oh man. Well, I tell you, I mean, I got my eye on that supporter shield. Like I want to keep winning. Like I want to keep winning. For me as a, my first experiences were in the Premier League. So I love MLS Cup. I especially love the Open Cup. Like I love these tournaments that get teams in and these great Cinderella stories. But I gotta say, like from a Premier League standpoint, I want the most points at the end of the season because I got the better of most folks. Like I put it together that way. That's for me personally. And I know there is something about lifting that MLS trophy. I want that too. But and we'll see if that's possible this year. We get hot, we keep going, we stay healthy. I believe the sky's the limit right now, and I think we're seeing it.
There's something about like mathematically being the best team on the pitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the most. I get what I see what you're cooking over there. All right, Steven. These are some of the most important questions here.
Okay.
All right. What does a game day look like for you? For Soccer Moses, what is there a ritual that we need to be aware of that we can help you with to keep getting these W's?
I mean, when we're really on it at the tailgate at the Tabernacle, it's just across the street. I'm cutting hair in the morning until about like early afternoon. I'm making a run to Kroger, Publix, somewhere, conferring with the rest of the attendees of the Tabernacle. What are we gonna do? We had Seattle in town once. We did Seattle dogs because I'm a Lucky's guy. I love me a themed hot dog.
My brother and Glizzy's.
Oh my God! And let's talk about that pizza, the Glizzy pizza. Let's talk about it.
I had that. I had that 2 weeks ago. That was
good.
Something.
Just keep if you feel a tingling, just but we love doing like themes. Like we got Montreal coming up. We're trying to figure out how to do poutine. Get a hot plate with some gravy.
There you go.
Get some fries.
Get some fries and just go to work. So I think food is definitely
show the Montreal scene a little bit more respect right now. I think it's gonna be a little tense.
I think
they're struggling too.
I think so. Well, and then of course I got the tablet on the wall. It's gone really well some years. I remember when Atlanta United came to town, I offered them like 400 in GAM and Kid Rock if we could have if we could get oh gosh, was it oh man, who was
Miguel Almiron? Outcast.
Yeah, I was like, could we just trade you for Outcast for Kid Rock and like 400
in GAM?
I think 100 you need a little bit more, man.
I know. You got to start somewhere. That's it.
We may have to give them Miley Cyrus.
That's great.
There was one year.
I'm good with that.
There was one time we put something about the Galaxy, and man, I don't know if you guys had any memorable moments when the Galaxy fans were allowed to travel to Nashville. But we had like almost fisticuffs, and there were some of their supporters were pissing in our lot. It was magical.
This is last season.
Sounds like some Galaxy shenanigans to me.
A couple of years ago when we were in the West still.
Yeah. That was rough. That was not soccer supporters' finest moments, I'll say. But we had some whole bit about the Galaxy. Their Galaxy will have no stars. We were taking every so often we like to take a little rib, but it's contrary to that moment. It's always in good fun. In fact, the one time I did go all in, I think it was Houston, which I thought we had 3 points easily. They were at the bottom of the conference at the time, and we needed those 3 points. And fellas, we didn't get them.
Is that when they beat us like 2-0
and I quickly ran back,
something like that? Yeah.
And I quickly ran back to the board and was like, "Sorry, everybody."
There you go.
So that lesson learned. Yeah, it's okay to be funny, but man, when you go all in a public way like that, you might end up eating your shoe or your sandal. In my case, yeah.
Oh yeah. I've maybe not as public as you, but I've definitely eaten crow on this show before.
I get it.
Okay, all right. Here's another very important question. If you had to pick a Nashville SC all-time starting 11, you can give me the whole 11, or you give me someone just like the most important person. Just like we want to hear what your thoughts on this.
Oh,
who makes the cut?
Okay, Bradley Bourgeois, gorgeous, Borges.
Wow.
I gotta throw back to gorgeous Borges.
Yeah.
All right. Man, who else? Brandon, who was the striker that we had at the baseball stadium? Brandon.
I keep thinking what's his name?
He was taking. They were taking shots as we were walking down to our seats at the baseball stadium, and I remember talking to Christy, who was next to me, and I felt something right here, and I turned just in time to get like an errant strike right square in the face.
Oof.
Wow. Let's not put him in. Man,
Is that
who
I keep
else,
wanting to say Cameron Lancaster, but I don't think that was who you're referring to. Yeah. Big Cam.
No. Big Bird.
Big Bird.
I mean, Big Bird. He had that header that I'll always remember.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, in a sincere way, I think regardless of where things go from here, Hani's a club legend. Like he might.
Yeah.
I have a lot of sadness that we didn't. In my estimation, like we could have done something better with Dax, because I think for him to still had his moment last season in Atlanta. Like I feel like that was ours, and if we'd even taken that, like then he's a boy in gold for life.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We definitely dropped the ball on Dax, man.
I'd put him in there because, man, Sexy from McCarty, man, that's one of my favorite jams of all time. When he dropped that long ball. Oh
yeah.
Golly. Yeah, Joe, I think you gotta say Joe has established himself as I honestly seeing Panico off and them kind of going all in on Joe and just seeing how that guy does not quit. Guy does not quit.
50 clean sheets with the club. So
hang on. It's coming at you. Wait for it.
Yep.
This is why you need to watch our YouTube. These interactions right here.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's
Gary Smith saying clean sheets lives rent free in my head. Like I say that once a day. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, it just comes out. Just clean literally sheets. Like clean sheets. Yeah, when I'm doing laundry in that room, it'll just clean sheets. Man,
cool.
Wow, man.
That was enlightening. Awesome. That was enlightening.
Yeah. Those are.
I love it.
I mean, those are a few. But I mean, if we got to go this season, I gotta say, we got our Viking Chihuahua, man. I'm putting him in our
putting him in early.
All-time 11
already.
Putting him in early. All right.
All time.
Who is forcing those turnovers? I've never seen anybody do it like that with such consistency. Now we'll see.
Yeah,
I mean, this is a long season, but if he keeps that up, woo!
Yeah,
I like him kind of as the six, but he's like that instigating six. So I like it.
And then he smiles, smiles.
Oh, just the dirty smile of just like, hi. Yes, I just did you dirty.
So good. Oh
yeah. Well, Steven, that's amazing. Glad we were able to get to know you just a little bit more. Next, guys, we've got a little bit of a rapid fire. We're going to ask Soccer Moses. What's up, Mixtape family? The new season's around the corner. In fact, it's already here, and you know it's time to turn it up. Tailgates, away match days, the whole shebang.
And here's the play. Our official watch party spot this season is going to be Lucky's 3-star bar. That's 3 stars out of 5. And it's just a short walk from Geodis Park on 4th Ave.
Nah, man, I'm giving them 5 stars out of 5 because Lucky's is where it is at. The pregame is strong, catching every single minute of the action, watching our Nashville SC boys get the dub with the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville.
And you already know you can still get lit with me at Lucky's. Cold drinks, glizzy, screens everywhere. The vibe is undefeated.
So roll up with your squad. In fact, you're part of our squad. Come to Lucky's 3-star bar. It's our new away match day headquarters. Let's make this season legendary.
Big energy all season long. Let's get it.
Yeah.
All right, then we're back in it. And as requested, we have got tons of questions for our friend Soccer Moses here. He is here in the flesh. As you can see, if you are on the YouTube and you're one of the cool people that watches us on YouTube, get on there now. All right, we're going to hit him with a bunch of rapid fire questions. Some of these questions you guys asked us at the last watch party. That's why you got to go to our watch parties, people. We can be your voice. I'm telling you. All right, Soccer Moses. First question. What are your 10 commandments?
I haven't gotten to 10 yet. But
Okay.
here's a few. But here's a few. Thou shalt hold no sport above the beautiful game.
Oh,
Honor.
there we go.
Honor the blue and gold. Remember the match day. Keep it holy.
Nope.
Thou shalt drink with responsibility.
Okay.
You know who you
Like
are.
that one.
Important one.
Welcome the traveler as thou wouldst welcome a friend.
Ah,
Agreed.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor, Thou shalt not covet another club's striker, their mascot, or their assistant
tough one.
coaches.
Agreed.
That's a
Okay.
tough one.
Thou shalt not eat chili on spaghetti.
Correct.
And
Cincy.
I'm still working on it, but of course, shout out to Stephen Robinson. Tuesday is a taco day.
Tuesday is
yes.
always taco day.
Woo.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right. So, what are your thoughts on the MLS Messi fandom craze right now?
What? Sorry. What?
Yes, exactly. Nope, that's a good one.
He's very good at soccer. He's very good at
He's
soccer.
all right.
That's all I have to say about that. He's on the high council in terms of my my esteem.
Okay.
It's respectable.
So what made you, I know we kind of talked about it in the last one, but this is a question from a fan. What made you choose Moses? You told us how you became from the shirt to the persona, but what made you choose Moses for the shirt?
I mean, I'm a lover and purveyor of dad jokes. And a friend said after Victor Moses scored for Nigeria in the World Cup a few years ago, he was in a pub in Ireland, and he stood on his chair and shouted out, "Let my people goal." And always attributed to the historical narrative of Moses. I think we just, it just made sense. I think I love him as a character because he's pretty hapless and fairly reluctant. I think that goes alongside my hopes and dreams a lot. Fairly reluctant.
We love it.
I like that. Okay, well, you've got the "Let my people go." All right. If you had a different catchphrase, what would it be?
Different catchphrase.
I know.
My father-in-law, my British father-in-law says this occasionally. The goal's the other way.
The goal's the other way. I like that one.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Are you taking suggestions?
Oh yeah, always. I'm always up for, always open, always open. I think
All right.
you know,
All right. You
if
heard
we're
it here
not
first.
growing, if we're not changing, we're dying.
There you go. All right, what do you get most excited about on game day?
Man, it's walking in that stadium and seeing people I love, seeing people smiling, seeing people, families that have like clearly never been to a match before and they're just taken by it. It's just
Oh yeah.
Geodis and what's going on around it outside, it really says come and play, come and be with us. And I think that's a hallmark of a welcoming community. And and that's something I want to continue to fight for and even to make better, because we can always improve. We can always improve.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, we love to throw in some kid questions in here as well. So I got one from my 6-year-old Ellie. She asked, do you like Chick-fil-A food?
Oh, give me the spicy chicken with pepper jack. And a couple extra Chick-fil-A sauces. Because by the end of it, I'm literally just dripping it on every bite. Like
man.
Big fan.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Okay. Do you have a favorite backline chant?
Ooh, favorite backline chant. I mean, it never got off the ground, but he's not blue, he's not green, he is somewhere in between. He's teal. He's teal. He's teal.
Yeah.
Deep cut.
That's
Deep
a
cut.
classic,
It's deep cut.
That's a great one.
Some would say they've never cut that one, but or they have cut it.
Well, we haven't cut it all the way, but I know that we've started using that one for Eddie a little bit. Like he's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Yeah.
No, you guys don't show Teal the love that he's due.
Hey,
and
I came up with a different Teal one that I like a lot. It's to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle theme song because he likes that turtle power.
All right, next question.
Teal Blumberry's gonna score hero in the 1-2 turtle power.
All right.
So here's a good one, Steven, just for you. Kicks back to your music days just a little bit. If I couldn't swim after 40 days and my mind was crushed by the crashing waves, how high would you lift me up?
Well, at this point, I'm centuries old, so my bench has gone down. My squat isn't great, so probably not very high. Probably not very high enough.
High enough that I couldn't fall.
Well, I mean,
he's not making any promises here.
We saw it, before we started recording, but for the listeners out there, who is the team that you most closely follow in the EPL?
Oh, you want to know about that, do you? Well, this is, you got to get.
Mixtape shirt.
That's your favorite supporter group. That's in there. Let's see. Yeah, this is. I believe.
He's got a swag right here.
Yeah.
Of course.
My first match was at Highbury in 1997.
Nice.
It was a testimonial against Glasgow Rangers. I'd never seen live soccer before like that. There was a streaker. There was a bomb scare ahead of time, so they had to run the dogs. It was, and then we were in the clock end, and we were on those wooden terraced stands. This old stadium.
Oh yeah.
It was just constantly teetering on like chaos the entire time. And I just thought, I've never experienced fandom like this. Everybody there was full of joy, and I just thought I want to know more about this sport. And I mean, part of it too is I was proselytized by a few guys who are also big fans of the team, and the engineer on our second record is a massive Gooner as well. So he definitely, it's a funny thing, right? I'm from Joliet, so I'm kind of a Sox fan and a Cubs guy, but our EPL experience is so much more about like, do you like the colors? Do you like a certain player? Or I mean, so I don't know if some of you guys followed Everton for a while because we had Tim Howard and we had some
Yep.
yeah. And
Some US guys.
yeah.
I'm not an Everton fan in any way, shape, or
no,
form.
you are not. No, you're not. But it's funny, those early days, it was like, yeah, we got an American there. It's like, Fulham,
That's
let's
funny.
go.
Yeah, it's funny. One of my first experiences in like a match not in the US, I went to a third league for the Bundesliga match in Germany, and it was one of those like similar, like the stands were shaking. You're not sure. I actually sat in the supporter section trying to catch on to the German chants as best I could. But yeah, it's a whole other world. But it's funny you mentioned like the bomb scare, like there were riot gear police out in like surrounding the entire stadium, but that was like just a normal match. And I'm like, I love it. I'm here for it, and I was sold.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Quick one from Lucas over here, who you just got to meet a few minutes ago. My 3-year-old. Are you and Seamus best friends?
I think it's fair to say that we're homies. We're truth be told,
a fellow Scouser with me.
Yes, he is. Oh, he is
very much so.
No, we're definitely part of a group called the 12th Street Hooligans.
There you go.
Yeah, but we come in peace. We come in peace. And
that's what they always say.
Oh yeah. We love and we celebrate a lot of our togethernesses around trying to stay fit and also just loving on those beautiful little canine friends of ours around this town that need homes and trying to raise money and awareness for Nashville Humane. So he's got a heart of ginger.
Oh yeah.
And gold. Yeah.
Fellow ginger snap.
Indeed.
All right. What has been, Moses, the most rewarding aspect of your involvement with Nashville SC and its supporters? You kind of already told us a little bit. I'd like to go a little bit deeper on that.
Dude, I mean, it's always been a little weird because, part of this is I was just a guy behind the goalpost that had a sign and it was on ESPN and then it just kind of steamrolled. And, the time I got to play the Come Together, because that was the theme of that season at Nissan Stadium. That was, man, that was everything I've been passionate about and everything that has brought me joy personally in terms of creativity, like music and fandom and being silly and people experiencing joy. Like that was one of those moments that I'm going to have forever. Looking around the side of the stadium and seeing that banner of that crazy fool Soccer Moses playing guitar, it just reminds me of to go back to the Bloodwater conversation of whatever it is you love, you can use it to the end that it can make a difference in people's lives, especially your own. The idea that I could do this silly thing and do, and bring music to it and see people rally together. And it just, honestly, every match, there's a dad who, pushes his kids at me for a picture with Soccer Moses. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. And man, it's just, they feel it, like they're in it. And I'll continue to hold on to that feeling for the rest of my days. It's just pure joy. It's just pure joy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, you talked about, being a barber, having the tabernacle set up. Have you cut anybody's hair on the team?
Trying to remember now. You know what? Mostly I'm kind of the staff guy.
Okay.
I mean,
relegated.
Andrew,
he got relegated to the staff.
Andrew Fair, a lot of the folks over there, Nick Bastaki, shout out to Nick, one of my favorite people, one of the most talented photographers and creatives Nashville SC is so fortunate to have him and his team, Bailey, just everybody there, Ari, like they're all, it's just, there are so many lovely people there that are, it's a young organization still, they're still growing, but they are figuring it out, and it is going to continue to blossom. But yeah, I've spent a good amount of time with some of the staff and some of the video folks who have come in at the last minute for handsome emergencies.
That's great.
Okay.
That is perfect.
Well, here's our last question.
All right.
Are there any and people they want to know this about you? All right.
Okay.
You bring people together. You bring us joy. We're always on the lookout for Soccer Moses when we're in the stadium. Even when I'm out of the stadium, I want to know what you got going on. You got any future plans or projects you're excited about? And if so, you want to share them with us?
Well, so I didn't mention this, but when they started doing shows at Geodis, I formed a band, and we've only done one gig. Nuns and Moses.
Nuns and Moses.
And Nuns and Moses, and we performed at Yazoo. And it was a benefit and an auction for Nashville Humane. And I think it's time to get the band back together. I'd like to get them on I'd like to get them on the stage.
Get a halftime show going.
Yeah. Or maybe I wanted to see if there's an away match. I'd love to possibly play a show, and then we do a watch party afterwards out at the stadium. I think it'd be amazing. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be great.
I've been wanting to do an away watch party at the stadium.
It's so great. We can bring blankets and like everybody just chill out.
The lawn?
I don't think they'd let us on the pitch.
Oh no.
Maybe outside the stadium. Outside the stadium.
The fake lawn. Yeah.
The public want to be on the park pitch or whatever they call it.
Yeah, the park. Yeah. But I'd love to do that at some point. We'll get to Nuns and Moses and our cast of rotating axles.
There you go.
There we go. Very nice. Very nice. Well, thank you again, Steven Soccer Moses, coming on here. We are ecstatic. I know the fans love this kind of stuff. This is our first character appearance, that we got on here. Maybe Tempo's next. I don't know if he's allowed to jump on podcast. Maybe if he learns sign language or something.
I'll have my people talk to his people, and we'll see.
There we go.
Get him. We actually hung out at the St. Patrick's Day parade. I got a little time with Tempo.
Very nice.
It was lovely.
Very nice. Well, guys, we were going to wrap another episode of Mixtape 615. Jump in the comments. Shout out Stephen Mason. Give him a big thank you. But an even bigger thank you to all of you listeners. We could not do this without you guys. Thank you for jumping in. Special shout out to our producer, Doug Branson. He is the real MVP. This guy, if you don't know anything about podcasts, you know that we would not do this near to the level that we are able to do it without this man. And so big shout out to him. Don't forget, stay connected. Hit us up at mixtape615.com. We got those new scarves. Logan Beerman's got his scarf. He can show it off for the 2025 season. Got our slogan on there, my verse, our song, Nashville soundtrack. All right. So hit us up on all of our socials, Instagram, Facebook, X, all that good stuff at Mixtape615. And for all of our video content, you know where to find us. Hit us up at Mixtape615 Pod on YouTube. Hey.
Sexy from McCarty.
There you go.
Exactly. Sexy for McCarty. There we go. Perfect. But guys, thank you again, Soccer Moses. Until next episode, keep it real, keep it vibing. But Mixtape 615 is signing off.